Erica, with all the uncertainty surrounding the Commonwealth Games, how do you feel now a host city has finally come forward?
Well, clearly relief, I suppose, is one of the first feelings, but still a little bit of uncertainty there, and I'm very conscious there's still an awful lot of uncertainty for our athletes. Obviously, the announcement yesterday was fantastic. We've got a host city. We know that athletics and swimming are going to be involved, but we also know that there's going to be a huge reduction in the number of sports and therefore the number of athletes attending. So we're still in a little bit of limbo at the moment, and I appreciate our athletes who are listening in are probably excited about the news but apprehensive, wondering whether their sport might be one of the ones that's not going to feature in Glasgow.
How much do you know at this stage about which sports will or won't feature?
Being honest, I know as much as you know. Literally, we know no more than is publicly available in the press. So we know that there's going to be 10 sports. As I said, we know that the athletics and swimming will be included. After that, we have no real idea, if I'm being honest. So yeah, we know that there's eight other sports out there. Hopefully, those 8 sports are 8 sports that we have athletes that are busy preparing, and as many of our athletes are included as possible.
Now, given that only, a few months ago or even a few weeks ago, it was looking likely there may not be a Games, now it's likely the Games is on. What impact has this had on you in putting together the team and preparing for the Games that are now only a couple of years away?
It's been immense, really, because fundamentally, our entire support staff is made up of volunteers, so we're wholly reliant on our volunteers, and we're very conscious that we don't want to put additional pressure onto volunteers that may not come to fruition. So we're very much in limbo still now. We've got sports out there that need to start setting standards, they need to communicate with their athletes, but until we know what we can communicate with them, it's very difficult. So all we're doing at the moment, our message is keep preparing as if your sport is included, keep getting yourself ready for the Games, and let's hope that your sport's there.
How important is this event to the Isle of Man and sport in the Isle of Man?
I think it's massive. To be able to compete with your Isle of Man vest on is just huge for all of our athletes. So many of them aspire to represent the Isle of Man at the Commonwealth Games. So yeah, I don't think you get any bigger for a Manx athlete.
To compete in an event of this at this level must be quite an expensive operation. How is this funded?
It's a fairly complex structure, if I'm honest. We do get some assistance from CGF for certain elements, but the vast majority of it we pay for. We're a charity. We're reliant on sponsorship. We've had some fantastic corporate partners through previous Games, but again, that's been a difficulty because normally we do a 4-year lead-in. There's a lot of momentum, which we haven't been able to generate because it's been difficult when we didn't know whether there was going to be a game. So now that's obviously going to be condensed. We're going to be going out, doing some fundraising. Hopefully, prior partners will come back and support us through this Games, and we'll be going out there and hopefully looking for some new sponsors that get behind the team and support us all going to Glasgow.
Now, obviously, you've just told us about the fundraising element, but now the starting gun has effectively gone off as the countdown to Glasgow commences. What will you be doing over the next, fundraising aside, what will you be doing over the next few weeks and months?
Very little sleep. If the last Games is anything to go by, it's almost a full-time job, and I do have a full-time job, but I absolutely love it. I live and breathe it. So there'll be so much behind the scenes that probably people don't realise, but from setting standards, selecting athletes, organising kits, sorting out logistics, organising all the support staff, there's so much that goes on, but it really is one of the most rewarding roles I've done.
So you're looking forward and raring to go?
I certainly am, yeah. And you know what, Glasgow, it'd be a fantastic host. I think it's almost again similar to a home Games for us. So although maybe not the perceived glamour of travelling to Australia, but nevertheless, I know it'll be a fantastic atmosphere, fantastic team spirit, and yeah. And
of course, Glasgow is a tried and tested venue for this event.
And other similar events, they've hosted a wealth of events, so they know what they're doing. The CGF have got people in place who were involved in Birmingham that are now sort of taking on the baton and heading to Glasgow. So I think it'll be an amazing event when it gets going.